Hi, good evening. It's Kenya Rockman, author and founder of the Child Support Hustle and uh, founder of the Reform Child Support Now movement. And I'm going to wait just a second to see if we get anybody to join us this evening. I know there's a football game on, so I know people can come back and review the video, some important information that I want to share, and that's why I'm doing the video tonight instead of waiting for the weekend. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll just give it a couple more seconds. If you are joining this live, if you don't mind sharing, I greatly appreciate it. There's power in numbers, and we need as many supporters as we can get in this fight. So that would be greatly appreciated. I definitely appreciate everybody that has reached out to volunteer to lead marches in your state. Hi, Brian. We haven't gotten any details down packed. We're trying to march. Well, we will be marching. I'm sorry, next spring of 2019. But I wanted to give a rundown, a quick summary of what the march is going to be about and why we are doing this. So that's why I'm doing this live this evening. And for everybody, any new people, welcome. Anybody that's been here supporting for a long time, thank you, as always, for your continued support. We will get reform to this unconstitutional child support system. Hey, Todd. Thanks for joining. Okay, the first point I want to make is that we want to change legislation. And what I'm proposing, and I'm talking to people across the country, we want to address and abolish debtors' prisons that are being used still, even though it's been outlawed again in child support cases when the parent cannot afford to pay the child support debt that they allegedly owe. So that is the mission of the march, and that is the mission going forward. We want, and I'm gonna go through all of that, but if people are saying, well, what are we marching for? Of course, we want child support reform, but there's so many, as we all know, there's so many different aspects that need reformed. But I think the most pressing one at this moment is when they take people's freedom simply because they can't afford to pay for their freedom. And this doesn't just affect people with child support orders. This affects everybody that doesn't have money to pay. But it's more specific to the child support issues. So I believe we can branch off of that. But if we can tackle the issue of debtors' prisons being used, I think it will open up the doors for us addressing and getting reform to a lot of other problems and illegalities that we have going on. Okay, so I'm asking you all, one, to check your state laws, because we know that it's against federal law to be imprisoned for owing debt that you can't afford to pay. But not all states have that same law on their books. I drafted a bill that I want to use as a kind of a template that we can share with everybody across the country, that they can edit and make it specific to their state and their laws. And one thing we have to find out is if imprisonment for debt is abolished in your state already. I'm in Texas. In Texas, it is illegal to imprison somebody for owing debt. So that's one thing I want you guys to check out. And if you can, share it on our page, share it on in the comments on this video, And that way, other people in your state will know, and then we can start growing from there. Growing the movement. We want to get legislators out and see who wants to support this. Okay. I have here imprisonment for debt is outlawed, but they still arrest people allegedly owing child support. And they are arresting people without hearings or any other safeguards to determine their ability to pay. And we know that Turner versus Rogers made that illegal. And the states are supposed to have something in place, but they are still refusing to do so. So we are addressing that issue head on. And we're going to do that by protesting and marching on one specific day all across the nation at one time, and not just in the US. We have supporters in Canada, Africa, Australia, Hong Kong. If you guys have a law where you are that you want abolished, and if it's debtors prisons, please join us in this. Find out what your laws are in your area and protest with us. We can make this a global protest, because we know the child support hustle is a global issue. It's a global problem. So the next thing we need to do is identify legislators who are going to be willing to present our proposed bill to abolish imprisonment for debt, especially child support debt. Okay, and we can do this by emailing, calling, and reaching out to our politicians with social media. I've drafted a letter. I was trying to figure out how to include it in the title of this video, but I'm gonna end up having to add it in the comments. And it's just going to be like a picture. But if you want, and I hope a lot of you guys, I hope everybody reaches out, I'll send you the link, and you can edit the letter specific to your state and add or take out whatever you want. You can not even use my letter and make it specific to what you want it to say. We just want to know what legislators are willing to take our bills to abolish debtors' prisons in front of the decision makers and present it. Okay. So I'm gonna include a website, politics1.com, and that'll have all the contact information for politicians, candidates, everybody. And that'll be included in the comments as well. Okay. And then our organized march. We're going to, like I said, we want to have it simultaneously across the nation, hopefully across the world. And we'll be demanding that debtor prisons be abolished in every state, especially when they're used as punishment for owing child support debt. We want those gone. And then I truly believe we can tackle the other issues that come along with this unconstitutional child support system. It's horrible that they can feel that they can kick in someone's door for allegedly owing a child support debt, imprisoning and locking somebody up because they owe a debt, but they are disabled and cannot work, unemployed because of the market. They cannot get a job. They cannot pay thousands upon thousands of dollars in arrears. Nobody wants to hear them. They won't even answer the phone, but they'll come and lock you up without finding out what your circumstances are. It's tragic when someone dies and they're only in jail because they have a warrant for owing a debt. That is one of the greatest tragedies in this whole system, besides parents not being able to see their children, parents being alienated from their children. This whole thing is just a sad state of affairs. So I do believe with ending debtors' prisons, and there's a lot of people working on shared parenting laws. I'm going to forget his name. Griffith. His last name is Griffith. Jason Griffith. He was instrumental in passing the first shared parenting law in the nation, and that's out of Kentucky. So get with him. Maybe he can offer you some advice if you want to introduce something like that in your state. He's on social media, and he's part of the National Parents Organization as well. So that's a great contact. They did that in Kentucky. So I don't want to get away from that. That is a great tragedy, as is parents dying in jail over owing child support debt. So we got to work on all these angles and do everything that we can do to rectify this horrible mess that the government has implemented in order to make money. Okay, so already talked about our brothers and sisters overseas and abroad. Hopefully they'll be able to join us in our march against debtors' prisons. We're looking for volunteers that are willing to lead and organize these marches in each state. We have had people contact us with their information, willing to step up. Greatly appreciated. We need more people. And like when we get closer to the date, which I'm thinking is going to be April. I was thinking April, but I'm thinking April, late April, early May. But way before then, we'll give you more details about organizing. Hopefully we'll have several people in a state that can work together to organize this march. And any suggestions that you have, or any ways that you can make it easier, please share it with us, and we'll share it with everybody else, because it's important that we have it organized and we let them know that we mean business. And I know we can pull it off. It's time. And I truly believe that this is going to be a way that we can bring down the child support machine that's destroying so many parents, families, children, and making sure that this cycle is not repeated with our children. It's definitely necessary. And like I said, we can reach other people that might not have a child support case, but might not be able to pay tickets. And it's either their rent or a ticket. You know, they're going to be homeless or they're going to be in jail, but it should never be one or the other. It's not illegal to be poor. It should never be illegal to be poor. And that's what they have made this whole system into. And they did it by testing the waters with the child support system. If they could lock people up for owing child support and be cheered for it, then why not lock people up for owing other debt? And that's where we are right now. So I think the movement has grown to a point now that we can pull the people in, get the numbers that we need, and make people pay attention. I think that we can truly get legislation passed, or I wouldn't be fighting for this long, and I wouldn't be trying to organize a march of this magnitude. I really think it's time. I believe in my heart, and I know that we will be successful. I read your comments, read your emails, DMs, and everything. I try to respond. I can't respond to everybody, of course, but I try to, and it's time. As my son Ilit says, it's time. So with that being said, I want to ask you, and we don't here at the Child Support Hustle ask for any money for our services if we help with your case or anything like that. But we are going to need donations. If you want to, please, if you can, purchase a t-shirt, purchase the Child Support Hustle. This is going to help us fund our march across the nation, and get with the legislators. We might have to lobby some legislators. I'm not sure. I've never taken on an endeavor like this before, but I've met a lot of people in this fight, and I'm confident. I've reached out to them. They're willing to work with me and work with us. So I'm confident that we can get where we need to be, but we're going to have to I'm sad to say it takes money. And I know it's hard when you're dealing with child support and all the other things. And it's any amount, I mean, it doesn't matter the amount. There's no amount is too little. So, and every penny is appreciated. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys joining me this evening. And again, please send me your contact information if you want to lead a march in your state. And we will put it on our list. And as the time draws near, we will contact you with more information and talk to you. And hopefully we'll get this, not hopefully, I have to stop saying hopefully. We will be marching this spring, and we will get legislation passed that will abolish debtors' prisons being used when people owe debt that they cannot afford to pay. Okay? So again, thank you all for your support. Remember, they can ignore one, they can ignore hundreds, but they cannot ignore thousands. Please share this video. Hopefully we can reach people that have never heard of the child support hustle and maybe are in debt, about to go to jail, and want to join march with us. So we want everybody, anybody and everybody. Okay? Thank you guys. Have a good evening.